Xiaomi's Redmi Note series has been popular in India for a very long time, and that's because the company usually offers excellent specifications at prices that you might not have been expecting. For the past few years, we've seen prices rise across the industry, and a lot of the competition has shifted from the sub 20,000 rupee segment to over that. So with that said, let's see how much value you can get for your money with the latest line of Redmi Note products, that is the Redmi Note 11 Pro and the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G. What we have with us today is the latter model, the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G, which is a little more premium. The two models are nearly identical, but there is a big difference when it comes to the processor and a few other small differences when it comes to the cameras. We'll talk about all of these as we go along. Now let's get started with our unboxing of the new Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G. So here we have the box, which is fairly standard, and you can see the front and the back of the phone, which gives us a hint about its design, and we'll check that out in just a moment. The specifications that Xiaomi highlights on the front are the 108 megapixel primary camera, which is part of a triple camera setup, and 67 watt fast charging. We have a few notes about the brand on the side and a few more specifications highlighted on the rear, which we will also get to soon. This unit is in Mirage Blue and has 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Xiaomi offers three variants of the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus in India. The base variant has 6GB of RAM with 128GB of storage. Then there's an option with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. And finally, the most premium option has 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. Here right on the top, we have a small inner box, which has, of course, the SIM eject pin, a clear plastic case, and just some bare basic paperwork. Putting that aside, we get our first look at the device itself. And let's take off this final layer of plastic wrapping. So here it is in Mirage Blue. You can see a pretty interesting pattern on the back, which looks sort of like water rippling on the surface of a pool. It's very reflective and very shiny. And let's see if it picks up smudges. Not very apparent, but we will see how that holds up in the real world once we review this phone. So you can see the rather chunky camera setup on the back. This is a two-step design with the primary module sticking out further than the rest. So on this side, we have the power button with an integrated fingerprint sensor and the volume buttons. On the top, you have speaker grills, a 3.5mm headphone socket, and an infrared emitter. This side is completely blank. And on the bottom, there's the USB Type-C port, the hybrid dual SIM tray, and the primary speaker grill. So we'll put this aside for a moment and check out the rest of the box contents. Here we have the pretty hefty 67 watt charger. And you'll need to carry this around with you if you want to charge the phone quickly wherever you are. There's also a simple USB Type-C cable, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing else in the box. While we wait for it to come on, let's talk about some of the specifications. So you get a Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 processor, which is fairly powerful and should be interesting for a phone in this segment. It features Qualcomm's X51 5G modem, while the Redmi Note 11 Pro is not 5G capable and features the MediaTek G96 SoC. You get either 6 or 8GB of LPDDR4X RAM and either 128 or 256GB of UFS 2.2 storage. Let's check out the SIM tray. And as you can see, this is a hybrid tray with one nano SIM slot and another slot that can take either a second nano SIM or a micro SD card. On the front of this phone, we have a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus 2400 by 1080 pixel screen with a 120Hz maximum refresh rate. There's a 5000 mAh battery, and as we saw earlier, 67 watt fast charging is supported. This phone is 8.12mm thick and weighs 202 grams. On the rear, you get a 108 megapixel primary camera with a Samsung HM2 sensor. There's also an 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera and a 2 megapixel macro camera. On the front, there's a 16 megapixel camera in a hole centered at the top of the display. While the Redmi Note 11 Pro is positioned lower than the Pro Plus, that phone has an additional 2-megapixel depth sensor that this phone doesn't. Other specifications include stereo speakers, Bluetooth 5.1, Wi-Fi AC, and all the usual sensors and GPS services. So that's the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G, which is very similar to the Redmi Note 11 Pro. Do stay tuned to Gadgets 360 for a full review coming up soon, in which we'll talk about this phone's performance, battery life, software, ergonomics, and ease of use. Do let us know what you think about this phone in the comment section. Thanks for watching.